Alright, hey guys, Mitch here from the AudioDabbler YouTube channel, and I'm going to take a look at ChordFlow today. It just released into the App Store yesterday, and I've been beta testing it, and so I know a little bit, understand a little bit how it works, and so I figured I would just, kind of give my thoughts on it and show you a few things that I like to do with it so far. So let's get started. We got the app. Let's bring my mouse over here so I can point to things. Up at the top you have a single note selector. You have where you can tie notes together, and then you have an eraser to erase notes. You have these 4 dots across the top are the 4 sets of notes that you're playing, and then you have different steps. It'll go all the way up to 32 steps, and then it will do up to 30 seconds, and then 1/8 and 16th triplets. And so what that's going to do is it's going to divide up the steps into quarter notes. And what each of these do is, if I go into a section C, it's got, it's a duration of 4, and that's the duration is 4 bars, 4 quarter note divisions. And so if I press play, let me just do it. Let me just create a new one real quick. Let me erase that. Okay, so it defaults to 32/16. So if I do 32 1/4 and I draw in 5 notes, it's only going to play the first 4. I can do this whatever I want to. It's not going to play that last one because this is set up to do 4 quarter note sections. So if I do an 8th note, then it will play the first 4 quarter note sections, and you can see it the way it's divided up, in where the darker ones are the middle and the lighter ones are the 1, 3, or the 1, 2, 3, 4. The quarter notes. And so the light colored dots are the quarter note divisions. And likewise with 16. And so now with this, you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 8 divisions in this 32 step sequence. And it will play, because this is duration 4, it will play, it'll only play the first 4. And if I wanted to add another chord, then I can change the chord to whatever I want to. And so if I let's say I erase this last section, if I play, it's only going to play, and then it's not going to play the E. And I was a little confused at first whenever I first started playing around with it, and then I realized that it's trying to play the whole 32 step sequence. And so as I add chords here, it's going to extend that out, if that makes sense. So the C is going to play the first 4, the E is going to play the second 4. If I added a third, the third would play the first 4 again, and then it would, when it went back up to the 1, it would repeat on the 1. It wouldn't just cycle through that way. So it's going to play the first 4 notes, or the first 4 quarter note divisions, second quarter note divisions, and then the first quarter note divisions again, and then whenever it cycles back up to the top, it will start over again at the first quarter note division. And then same thing, with 32, it'll be 4 bars, 4 quarter note divisions of 32 notes. So, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. And then the notes that are being sent, I played around with sending things to Ableton, just kind of get a feel of what everything was sent. And I made some notes. If you're doing a 9th, 11th, or 13th, now I haven't tested every single major, minor, diminished, augmented, sus chords, but ones I did test, if you're sending a 9th, 11th, and 13th, probably because of the amount of notes in those chords, then this bottom note is going to be, this bottom note would be a C. Like if I was doing C major 13, this bottom note would be C2. This middle note right here, the second note, would be G2, the fifth. And then the third one would be C3, and then you would start, then it would be E, G, C, E, G, C, E, G, all the way up. And only the notes in the chord. Now if I went other than these three, then this bottom note is going to be C1. So it's going to be a lower bass note. This is going to be a fifth. And it's going to be G2 or G1. And then this third one is going to be C2. And then the fourth one is going to be C3. And so you're going to have, if you're not on one of these long, really big extended chords, then the bottom three notes on this grid system is going to be bass. It's going to be C2 or C1, root and fifth in the 1, and then the root in the 2, and then it'll start with the root in the 3, and then play the chords progressively up as the notes go up. And you can kind of hear, if I can get a good. It's just kind of playing the chords, but if I start way down here, you know, it's a lot lower. But if I go like here to this 13th, you can hear that bottom note is not as low. So that's kind of how it's set up. You got root, fifth, and root, fifth, and then root again. And if you're on one of the more extended chords, then this third set of dots will, this third line of dots will start the chord. If you're not on one of the longer extended chords, if you have a smaller chord, then this will also be another lower root, and then the fourth one here will be the root and start of the chords. And it may be, you know, it may be slightly variations throughout the rest of the chords. I haven't tested every single one. There's 50 some odd chord types that you can play around with. So, and then another thing is you can add a bass. And so like if you're playing some you know, a D chord that's got a F sharp in the bass, you know, some of the inverted chords and things like that, you know, you can really easily do it here. And then what's going to happen is the very bottom bass note will be the bass note that you select, and then it'll go up to the fifth, and then the next one will be the root. And then you can change the duration by these little plus and minus signs down here, and that'll just basically, like right now it plays 4 quarter note divisions, and then if you go up to 8, then it'll play 8 quarter note time divisions. You go all the way down to 1, and then you can just add pretty much as many chords as you want down through here and change them out and change the duration, and it'll just keep cycling through the whole thing. So it's pretty cool. And then you can add different sections. You can have a whole bunch of different sections, and each one of those containing their own group of chords that you want. Uh-oh, I had a crash. Maybe I should have tested a little better. One thing I have noticed is it does not auto-save, and so if you're playing around with something, make sure you save it. Because I've had some stuff and I forgot to actually save it, because I'm used to, you know, some apps just kind of bring up the last thing that you had open on the screen if you close it out. But this one does not. It has the actual save button. So if you make something that you really like, make sure you save it before you close the app out. Down at the bottom, you can change the tempo. You got your play button. You got your repeat all, which will, if you're in the section view, it will repeat all of the sections, or it will repeat the selected. If you're in the section view with individual sections, then it will repeat all the chords, or you can just repeat a certain chord, or you can do one pass and it'll just pass through. You can add the little plus button down here adds. It has output. You got some internal sounds, and then it's got MIDI out. Can't really select a channel. I mean, he's continuing to improve it. One of the things that his goal is to eventually have each of these be able to send to a different MIDI channel and MIDI and to a different app altogether, which would be really cool. It'd be Fugish, so you combine this and Fugue Machine together, and you could just generate things all day long. It does have Ableton Link. Tested it out. A few apps, depending on the app, you might need to adjust the Ableton Link, the offset of the syncing. And yeah, that's kind of it. So let's bring up it's kind of fun I was doing yesterday. Let's see what I want to. Let's do that. Let's erase this. Let's go to output. So let's make sure we send ChordFlow out. And let's just draw in. Something in the bass. One thing, he's planning on adding it to Audio Bus. I'm not for sure, Interapp Audio, but wish I had saved the little thing I had going yesterday, but I didn't. You can bring in some 7th chords. Play around with the duration. It would be nice if it was in the audio bus slot, or be able to do Interapp Audio so you can quickly change in between the ones, but so it's just I don't know, just a really fun app you can do a lot with, and yeah, you can just add as many chords and stuff as you want and just have at it. Just make sure you save, because if you don't, it does not auto save anything. So alright guys, thanks for watching. I did finally set up a Patreon account. It's patreon.com/TheAudioDabbler if you if you're into that kind of thing. And yeah, just keep liking, subscribing, and commenting, sharing, whatever you want to do. Leave comments below. I try to answer everybody's comments, and I will talk to you guys later.